You know, when your ratings are doing that vacuum suck thing, when nobody's tuning in to your major flagship streaming platform, when you're now losing to Tubi, well, how do you get the critics to perhaps take a break from beating you down? If you're Disney, perhaps, maybe, just kinda, you call up someone like Nielsen. Not saying it happened, but there's a new way of gauging how well a company is doing, and it just seems to be utterly tailored to help out the Walt Disney Company. Today, folks, we'll tell you what we're talking about, we'll tell you why it matters, and we'll tell you why it might have investors feeling very, very mad. Folks, hang tight. Let's get to the clatter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and yes, indeedly doodly have short, concise intros, but not today. Sorry about that intro, folks. A little bit longer than usual, but we had to explainify what it is we're talking about. Nielsen is the biggest, baddest, most important company around when it comes to assessing the viewership and ratings of television. And the Walt Disney Company has not been doing well when it comes to Disney Plus. Their viewership is obviously and publicly damaged. So what are you to do if you're Disney? And what are you to do if you're Nielsen to help out maybe the House of Mouse? Well, we're not sure exactly that this is planned. We don't know that it's part of some sort of nefarious scheme. We only know that there's a new rubric. And what it means is it makes Disney look good where maybe investors should not be so happy. We'll talk about it. We'll explainify it right now. Journalists out there, drive-bys, make sure you get your notepads ready, and we'll show you how the dots are connected. Yes, the Hollywood Reporter has the story, folks, but the dots need to be connectified, and so that's what we are here being paid to do. So let's get at it. This by Rick Porter. Disney holds steady as top TV programming distributor in May. YouTube remains in second in Nielsen's monthly rankings of viewing by media company. Folks out there might be saying to themselves, but Pro, you told us they were dropping out of the top 5. You told us that YouTube was the biggest platform on the web. You told us that Netflix is dominating Disney, yet here it is. Disney, the top TV programming distributor. Folks, we are right. We'll show you how this is twisting and turning to make sure that Disney gets a positive story. And I suspect that this entire rubric was created just to make this possible. Here's the story, and then we'll show you the reality. Disney kept the lock on the top spot as the media company responsible for the biggest share of TV viewing in May. I'm telling you, this is going to be, get ready for some twists. That's according to Nielsen's second media distributor gauge, which looks at how TV use stacks up by company. Again, second time they've ever done this. Okay, they just started this. Why did they just start it? Well, I suspect somebody at the House of Mouse wasn't happy with being outed clearly. And by the way, Nielsen basically showing that Disney Plus is driven entirely by Bluey. Bluey having ratings bigger than Star Wars and Marvel combined. It looks at how TV use stacks up by company. Disney's 11.4% of all TV use in May includes viewing on ABC, ESPN, FX, Hulu, Disney Plus, and the other cable and streaming properties under the Mouse umbrella. Pause there for a moment, folks. Let me just suggest that a huge percentage of Disney's 11.4%, a huge chunk of that, is Disney being watched on YouTube in ways that doesn't make Disney money. I'm just gonna present that to you. If you're watching a clip that was originally on ESPN on YouTube, YouTube's making that money, yet Disney is getting credited in this rubric, in this gauge. Let that sink in for a moment. Disney's share of TV use is consistent with its April figure of 11.5%, which was part of the first publicly released distributor rankings, and with the 6 months of data Nielsen had compiled before going public with the numbers. A host of live sports telecasts, including the NBA playoffs on ESPN and a number of season finales on ABC, helped to keep Disney on top of the list for the month. YouTube remained in second place for May with 9.7% of TV use. TV use, not all devices use. Oh, and by the way, what it's talking about here is stuff that is originally created by these companies. YouTube is a vast repository of everything video. Only the stuff that was originally created for YouTube, such as this show you're watching right now, gets counted in that 9.7%. Everybody paying attention to how this is set up? All right, NBC Universal, 9%. Paramount, 8.8%. Warner Brothers Discovery, 8.1%. And that completes the top 5. Netflix, 7.6%. Okay, now let's get into the real stuff. Everybody ready for some real stuff? Let's get into the real stuff. Here's the other thing from Nielsen that THR doesn't mention. This is called the gauge, folks. And this is confirmation of what we've been reporting for a while now. This is out of May. We've got these numbers now. And it turns out that on TVs, 38.8% of that is streaming now. Broadcast television, 22.3%. Cable, 28.2%. And others, 10.8%. But take a look over here at the right. There's something very important that's happened. We reported on this about a week ago that Tubi had finally overtaken Disney. The way this is set up, though, I love this. Both Disney Plus and Tubi get a 1.8%. Now, because you watch this channel, you know that Tubi defeated Disney Plus. But the way that Nielsen does this apparently is alphabetical. So despite the fact that if you added another decimal point to this, Tubi would be on top, Disney gets the alphabetical lead. So Disney Plus gets to stay in the 5th spot overall, and I'll show you why that's 5th place. Tubi looks like it's below them. Tubi beat them in May, and we know that. We know it. We've seen it. We've talked about it. All right, so let's go over this, okay? So as opposed to, oh, you watched a Mickey Mouse cartoon on YouTube, okay? This is actually where they make their money. And where they make their money, 5.9% is other streaming. So that's everything else that's not on this list, okay? Why they put it at the top, I have no idea, but that's going to include things like Twitch. 9.7% YouTube is in the lead, and it's not even close. 9.7% YouTube is the biggest, baddest distributor on the planet. Netflix, not far behind at 7.6%. And then way, way, way down in a whole different category is Hulu and Amazon Prime Video, 3.1% and 3%. By the way, Hulu continues to drop as Disney continues to cannibalize that service. Now, in a completely new category below, I'm going to put this in the next tier, right? You've got Disney and Tubi, which we know Tubi is in the lead. You've got Roku, Max, Paramount, Peacock, Pluto. And I think all of those deserve to be in the same category. I think Disney Plus is much closer to Pluto TV than it is to Netflix. Fair? I think so. And we can get into more of these numbers down here. We can go look at the streaming, all this. But take a look at this. This is where they get the distributor side of this. This is the original document, okay, that says Disney for May of 2024 had 11.5% of the total distributed content. But Disney doesn't make money for all of that. Disney makes money off of this, okay? So again, I'll say this one more time. This should make investors furious. How is it that Disney Plus, their flagship streaming platform, has 1.8% of the market share and 11.5% of all the content that is watched on TV was originally made by Disney but is being hosted somewhere else, often not making Disney money? How can it be that Disney Plus is that unpopular? Panel, I hand it to you now. This one we went way in the weeds, but I needed people to understand that despite the headlines, Disney Plus is still dropping. Take it away. Who wants first dibs on this one?
I need to say this. The only reason that Tubi is not beating Disney on that chart is due to a rounding error. And that is beautiful. That is beautiful hilariousness there.
But the reality is Tubi beat Disney. Tubi is in the lead. It happened. Disney Plus is no longer the top 5 streamers.
Well, especially when you think about content spend here. Tubi does not make original content that affects their numbers that much. I mean, there's some things in there. There's a couple of horror movies here and there. There might be some Lifetime shows. But we're talking for the amount of money that Disney spends on one show, you might be talking about the entire catalog of Tubi originals here. Most of what they are making their money on is this insane idea that people want to turn on their television and they're willing to watch a few ads if you just put a show in front of them that isn't going to challenge them too much, but is in fact going to entertain them on a regular basis. Disney is over here trying to snowmobile in traffic, to quote Wesley Snipes recently, or ice skate uphill. This is not that complicated. Make things that people want to watch. There's a lot of blueprint for how to do that, and then put it out and see who shows up. But Disney is spending their $14 billion in the hole on Disney Plus right now. And the only way that they can justify it is by hiding it behind Hulu, hiding it behind other more successful things that have nothing to do with the creativity of the company. I meant to say one sentence, and here I go again, ranting on the ridiculousness of trying to reinvent the wheel over and over and over again. They are stuck on stupid. Just make some good content. Make a 26 episode sitcom about a nuclear family that kind of likes each other but also gets on each other's nerves. Don't try to shove any agenda down anyone's throat unless you're going to make fun of both sides of that agenda, which they're clinically incapable of doing. Sorry, I'm gonna cut off my rant here.
It's okay. I just wanted to build on what Jonas was saying. Like, I just recently canceled my Disney Plus because there's just nothing I want to freaking watch. But the reason why I canceled it, besides the fact that the Acolyte is crap, is that there's nothing on there that I want to watch that I can't just go and get the physical copy and have that, instead. Hulu I have had for, I don't know, seems like forever, because there's always something to watch on Hulu. Yeah, there's some ads, there, but like you were saying, I'm willing to sit through the ads because there's stuff I actually want to watch on Hulu. On the regular, there always seems to be new content, including the content that airs on, we'll say, like the over-the-air TV. So I can always find something to check out and watch. Tubi, the special appeal with Tubi is that Tubi is free. Okay. Not only is Tubi free, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's on there. I don't watch Tubi as regularly because I'm usually watching Hulu or I'm watching Netflix, but I like the fact that Tubi is there for me to just watch if there's, something I just feel like I want to. So with Tubi, it's just like I'm too busy watching other services to get to it, but it's on my radar because it's free. Disney Plus is a waste of friggin' time and waste of money. And there's nothing on there that I want to watch.
I agree with you, Lorena, and that's kind of part of a bigger, broader conversation, right? Is that if you value the programming, you'll be okay with the commercial interruptions, and I don't see that being anything that's ever going to change. It's one of the reasons why I think we've seen the way linear TV has fallen to about 50%. I have a feeling that if it doesn't stay there, it might go back to increasing because a lot of people have become disenfranchised with their cable cutting because they have all these now. They have to be subscribed to all these streaming services, and the streaming services now are all coming up with their own ad-supported garbage. And so, why not just watch it on linear television, right? And then to top this all off, and to step back and look at this from a business perspective in a different way, taking a different angle, I would say and argue that the reason that they're this large distributor that you're highlighting here, Pro, the reason that they're the biggest one at 11.5%, has nothing to do with any of the Disney content itself. It has to do with ESPN. I think ESPN and their ability to distribute everything from there, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, it's got to be ESPN that's driving it because, as you point out, nobody's watching their streaming services. And the clips that show up ESPN stuff. I mean, think about how much stuff is utilized by news gathering organizations that are clips from ESPN, from sporting events and things like that. Think about the clips that, as you pointed out, are on YouTube and on other platforms as well. But, maybe they are the biggest distributor, and maybe ESPN is a big driving factor for that. But all their other stuff is largely ignorable. You can discount it. It doesn't have a lot of value, as Lorena was talking about. At least that's my thoughts. I'm not sure if anyone would agree, but that's how I would see it.
Well, one of the things that I would say about this is if I'm an investor, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, I'm making money off 1.8%, which is Disney Plus. Okay. I'm making money off Hulu. Not really. We spent $30 billion on that sucker, so it'll be a long time before we make money on it. We're not really making money on Disney Plus either, but that's where the potential is, right? If somebody's playing Mickey Mouse cartoons on YouTube that some random person uploaded, I'm not making money on that. So why is it that the majority of Disney watching is happening on platforms that are not Disney owned? That's what I would be saying if I'm an investor. I'd be saying, why is it we're not monetizing this vast majority of content? Because there's no way you can have 1.8% market share on Disney Plus, but have 11+% of all content on televisions originating out of Disney without having lost a ton of potential. And so this is just another example, I think, of Bob Iger needing to tighten the ship and get back to doing what they need to do, which is create content and put the content in a place where investors get their ROI back. That's just my thoughts on it. Jonas, any final thoughts on this one?
No, I'm just going to point out that Disney has had the bold strategy of just directly uploading some of their TV shows to YouTube in the past. Not the big stuff, but generally Disney Junior content or things like that. What's funny is that on the actual Disney Junior, they wouldn't run ads against it, but I think over there on YouTube they might even make more ad revenue because of YouTube's system over there. So.
Well, one thing I want to say too, Jonas, is that the article that we put up on screen but did not discuss, where it confirmed that Tubi actually did beat Disney Plus in the month of May. That was out of the LA Times, folks. And I think I would just say too, just taking a look at this, we'll try not to get hit for anything, dinged for anything. But folks, just a thought: Bluey is the biggest thing over on Disney Plus by far. Bluey doing just fine on YouTube as well. I wonder how much this eats into what could be Disney Plus watching when you've got 7 million subscribers on Bluey, 4.2 million views on Surprising Moments, 3.6 million views on Cutest Bluey and Bingo Moments. You've got all of these different little shorts and things. I guarantee you there are people who are sitting down and watching this. Bluey full episode, season 1 through 3, 13 million views. Those are views not going to Disney Plus. So just saying that there are opportunities. I know Bluey is not original Disney content that's acquired, but I'm just putting it out there. And folks, we've come to the end of yet another video of pure, unfiltered excellence. You betcha. And folks, we hope we elucidated new truths that you did not know about entertainment today. If we did, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, drop a comment right on down below. Folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.